How's it going? Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great video here on the majestical, the sexual Savior Show. That's right, I'm joking, it's not sexual. I should stop saying that, otherwise YouTube, like the machine that it is going to censor me. What great times we live in, where everything is dominated by machines and everyone is just a goddamn cyborg, and we just let, things get run by automated systems and everything is just a complete mind show, okay? Anyway guys, we're not talking about the dystopian hellhole that we all live in today. Today, we're talking about something family friendly, something cool, like Rick and Morty. That's right, something that I used to love so much, okay? I'm a Rick and Morty fanboy, okay? I'm just gonna say that right now. I love Rick and Morty, okay? I own merchandise, and I barely buy anything from corporations. But I've bought Rick and Morty merch because it just shows you how much of a fan I was of Rick and Morty. I've got the t-shirts, I've got the wallpapers and all that good stuff. But guys, today I'm gonna be talking about why Rick and Morty Season 5 basically fell down the poop hole, okay? Fell down into the abyss, into the wormhole, and got corporatized, became basically just another mainstream media show of mediocrity schlock, okay? That's what I'm talking about today. This is the follow-up of my Rick and Morty Season 5 review, which did pretty well, and people, a lot of you guys basically commented, and there was a lot of arguments in the comments. A lot of people agreed with me, and a lot of the fan base hated me, which is obviously fair enough, okay? Actually, no, that's stupid, because if you think that a TV show can, basically, if you form your opinions around something that you like, you're an idiot, okay? If you, go into something blindly without your own independent thought and like something just because you like it and someone else has a different opinion, I'm sorry, you're a moron, okay? Because anyone who just follows something because they like it without, questioning why or, even considering other people's opinions are complete idiots. I'm just gonna say that right now, and I'm sorry. And the Rick and Morty fan base are kind of idiots, okay? It's become pretty cringy. I mean, you don't have to go far, you just have to go on TikTok, type in Rick and Morty or whatever, and you'll see just how bad the Rick and Morty fan base is, okay? A lot of people now love Rick and Morty. I remember, I probably sound like a little bit of a hipster, but I remember when Rick and Morty was amazing, okay? When it just first came out, and not many people knew about it, and, it had a devoted fan base of high IQ individuals like myself who loved Rick and Morty. I'm joking, but I'm just saying it's fallen downhill. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, is Rick and Morty Season 5, how Rick and Morty basically plummeted, and how Rick and Morty basically just kind of the downfall of Rick and Morty. That's what I'm going to talk about. Now, I'm only doing this video now because the new next season, or I'm not sure if it's Season 6 or if it's Season 5 continued, but more Rick and Morty is coming very soon, in May, I believe. So I thought it's a perfect time to talk about it, and hopefully they can get their act together and not make more garbage, okay? Because Season 5 was by far, and I still stand by this point, okay, was by far the worst season of Rick and Morty ever created. I think there was 2 good episodes out of, I don't know how many there were, like 5 or 6, but 2 out of 5 or 6, okay? That's terrible. Considering how long they take to produce this, it's ridiculous, okay? I mean, they expect people to wait around for something to be made, and then they release absolute garbage, okay? Fair enough if they release quality content, okay? Fair enough if, they release something good. For example, like my music, it takes a long time to be produced, but at least when I actually release it, it's gonna be good, okay? I don't just wait around and then release a pile of wank like Rick and Morty Season 5, okay? It was just a complete insult, in my opinion. Not Season 5, I'm sorry, Season 4. What am I talking about? Season 4. I got completely lost. Season 4, not Season 5. Okay, I'm sorry. It's because I'm lost in how many seasons they're gonna make, because now they've signed a contract where Rick and Morty will go on forever, pretty much. So, of course, it's just gonna get watered down and terrible, okay? So, I'm just really hoping that this next part of Season 4 or Season 5, whatever, will actually be good, and it will be like, Rick and Morty Season 1 and Season 2. Season 3 was okay, but we could see it was already starting to go downhill a bit. Now, let's actually talk about the reasons why, shall we? Because I'm not just gonna ramble on, because I know people don't like that. I'm gonna give you some actual straight up facts, okay? We know why Rick and Morty sucks now, okay? It's because the writing has changed, okay? The writing staff have changed. They've hired a bunch of complete imbeciles who have written a bunch of crap before in previous, work, in previous shows or whatever it is they did. It's complete trash, and the writers are to blame for that, okay? Also, Justin Roiland or whatever has become completely an egomaniac, and his baby Rick and Morty is now basically a side financial moisture pit. Okay, that's all it is to him, pretty much. Okay, third, we all know that there are actual problems within the story arc. Okay, now there was this whole lead up with the evil Morty kind of thing that never led anywhere. There's so many character developments that have kind of stopped. Now Morty has just become this kind of stale, stagnant, bitter. He doesn't seem to care anymore, or his character's not changing at all. And Rick is the main problem, okay? They have basically completely screwed up his character with making him a complete god, so it never feels like there's any danger, any risk, or anything like that, because now he can just walk through anything with magical robot laser beams or whatever, and it basically takes all the fun out of it. Also, now they do these horrible gags, like Family Guy, where basically it creates, a comedy scene with actual no context, okay? And that doesn't work. That's not funny, okay? It might be funny for the Family Guy audience, but in Rick and Morty, it doesn't work, okay? Because the whole reason people loved Rick and Morty in the first place was because it had kind of intelligent, obviously it's a cartoon, so not really that intelligent, but it had an interesting story. Every episode had an interesting story, okay? And it made you think a little bit about things, okay? And it was actually funny with its dark sense of humor, but now it's just like, Rick suddenly is gliding over, screaming at the top of his voice, with a paraglider or some shit like that. It's just like snap to quick jump cuts of humor, and I don't think it's that funny anymore. And I'm not the only one, because obviously a lot of people agreed with me. So I just really hope that they bring it back, and if not, then Rick and Morty, I guess it's over. I guess I don't care about Rick and Morty anymore, okay? So I just really hope that they fix the story arc, they fix the character development, they fix the crappy writing, they fix the stupid, jokes without any context that are just, kind of jump cuts, that are just kind of like flashbacks, or, they're just, ugh, it's just bad. It's just gotten really, really bad, and for people who can't see it, obviously, because I understand that now Rick and Morty has attracted such a large fan base that it's a lot of just stupid kids, no offense, who are just watching this, and, or just, just the general audience who like, Marvel and a bunch of shit. And, Rick and Morty is basically catering to a wider audience now, not its niche market that it was once, in season 1 and season 2. So the episodes have just become kind of, just schlocky and lazy, and it feels like it's not going anywhere. No overarching story anymore. So, guys, that's my opinion, and, I'm sorry, but it's my opinion. Obviously, you don't have to agree with it. I'm just one man. You can think what you like. I would respect your opinion as well. I just think that for anyone who loves Rick and Morty, we should all hope for the best and hope that it does get better, or at least goes on the right track, because we can all hopefully agree that there are some issues that need to be addressed, and that's just my little opinion on Rick and Morty and its downfall, and I basically hope it picks back up. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and, tell me that I'm a fat little douchebag in the comments down below. Thanks very much, and see you next time.